all to play for.
Oh, he's bowled in.
Beautiful.
And there it is.
An innings of authority.
Wow, what about this?
Does he get enough? You bet he does. West Indies strikes again.
Rain put the second Betway Test on pause yesterday morning, but as the skies cleared, the afternoon sprung to life. South Africa's firm grip on the match was loosened as Kemar Roach initiated a West Indies fight back with a quality new ball spell that fell both openers. The visitors' second innings wobbled further as Kyle Mayers ripped through the middle order. And when the informed Quinton de Kock fell for a duck to Jason Holder, and the former skipper then grabbed a stunner, the hosts were cock-a-hooped. But the Proteas found defiance in the form of Rassie van der Dusen and Kagiso Rabada, ensuring respectability and setting a victory target of 324. West Indies reached stumps unscathed, leaving fans dreaming of another historic run chase. The start of the fourth day of the second Betway Test between the West Indies and South Africa is upon us. Will the West Indies make their dreams reality, or will South Africa create a nightmare?
Ball shot to get the West Indies going, but still a run. And the West Indies will know that they really need, especially facing up to Nokia, whenever Ngidi turns up, you've got Rabada at the other end, that they may need moments of luck. That's what happens when it's pitched up, inviting that drive for the left-hander going across him.
There's that grass, a little bit of grass, just a bit of movement away, a little bit of seam. So I want to highlight something that I saw earlier. Now this is the area that Curtly Ambrose was talking about. Look at this crack. I wanted to see how close that first ball was to that crack. Okay, it's not far away. That's in the batsman's eye line. Maybe that was why he was a little bit hesitant.
Got him! That's what South Africa wanted. Kagiso Rabada with the early strike. Craig Brathwaite departs.
What a good catch. What a good delivery from Rabada. That's exactly the plan. Wickets early. If you get your captain, that's a bonus. This seemed to take a long time to get to Dinelga, but have a look how easily he worked with it. That's an indication of how much training they've done with their slips catching. Justin Ongtong's been working hard with the South African boys with the slips catching. How's that carry? Goodness me, that's slapping into the glove. Some are being taken around about knee height. Interesting that Brathwaite is just looking at that spot. Let's see how close that, let's see how close that went to that spot. It's pretty close. Look at that. Head height, slapping the gloves. It's a bit shorter, but it's on the same line. There was actually, Sir Curtly was talking about another area there where that ball hit. That's gone some distance. Now I wonder if that was off the crack. There's just a little bit of a wry smile there. Yep, you can see it from Hope. I reckon that might have been bang on that spot. Let's have a look. It's on the line of that spot, and as I said, there were two areas that Sir Curtly Ambrose was looking at earlier, but maybe that right spot just went so far anyway.
A bit ambitious there. Maybe just feeling the pressure somewhat. That's why he's smiling. Almost a bit of a psychological victory there for Nokia.
Absolutely. That surprised a few players out there that are wearing a green badge. No idea what he was trying to do. That's not the shot of someone who should be trying to guts it out and fight really hard, try and save a test match, or hopefully play really well because he's one of the key players and win a test match.
Has that come off the glove? They're appealing. Not out, says Joel Wilson. Certainly in a lot of trouble to the pace and hostility. They're considering it, they're discussing it. The bowler obviously will be keen. Are they going to review? Yes.
Ball has hit the glove. Simon, I'm ready to go back on field to Joel. Joel, I'm going to have to ask you to overturn your decision to out. You're on screen now.
Good shout. Plumb in front, says the umpire. Is he going to review this? Caught in the crease, full-length delivery. But he's overstepped. He's been saved. Dean Elgar's now realized it.
Yeah, there was a loud call from Joel Wilson saying it was a no ball. And it is a no ball. He's had one warning earlier. This is on the big screen. You might have heard that exasperation there. That was from Dean Elgar through the stump mic as he saw it on the big screen.
Oh, again, it's a short, hostile from Heinrich Nokia, coming around the wicket. Attempted dive by Maharaj, but he can't stop the boundary. First boundary of the day.
Another speedy, fiery delivery from Nokia. He's really bowling quickly. Well played in the end by Kieran Powell.
Coming back over to you again, Kieran.
Nobody in that area. There'll be runs for the West Indies and for Kieran Powell. Ends the over 37 for 2. Nicely played again through the leg side, this time by Mayers. He played that shot a couple of times in the first innings as well, and now get ball for it.
Good shot. Short delivery by Rabada.
Nice. It was overpitched and should be put away. Sometimes in these situations you can miss out on those chances, but Powell doesn't. Brings up the 50.
Overpitched delivery from Ngidi. Kieran Powell, good stride in. Got close to the ball. And stroked it quite nicely through extra cover for 4.
That's the danger. It happens every now and again. 53 for 2.
Flipped away this time. More power on that shot. It will go all the way for 4. Once he's at the crease, he usually scores at a rapid rate. Boundary to end the over, 59 for 2.
This was the last ball of the previous over. Nicely pulled off that hip position that he likes to play. He's very strong in that area.
What a beauty to end the over. And just flew away from the left-handed Powell. 65 for 2. Ngidi testing the West Indians once again with a beauty. Going across the left-hander. Oh, that was close. Just pushed him back on that occasion. The length perfect from Maharaj. Just a whisker away from that off stump. Oh,
Oh, that's a big swing and a miss. You don't want to do that. That wasn't a half volley by any means.
A little bit ambitious. And Powell was very wide of off stump as well. Should have left that alone.
Oh, that's nicely played, actually. That's beautifully controlled. That's a really good shot. I have no problem with that whatsoever.
It's the second time we've seen him play that shot, Kyron Powell. Of the same bowler as well. Shortish delivery, bounced a little bit. Very well controlled. Deliberate. That was a good shot.
Would have been a foul in baseball, though. Good shot. Really well played. Change of angle from Nokia, and that is a fine stroke. Everything was right about that.
That's Kyle Mayers at his best. He's very strong through the offside. Wasn't a bad delivery by any means. Played it very well. Just rock back on the back foot.
Slashing at that. Not worrying about it being in the air. That's very, very Calypso style, and it's raced away for a boundary.
Another strong, positive shot, this time from Kyron Powell. Slightly wide of off stump. Really struck it well.
Running that one off the face. Good control, good solid shot. Another boundary. Boundaries are coming nicely now for the West Indies.
Very, very well played by Kyle Mayers. That was just opened the face of the bat. It was deliberate, knew what he wanted to do, and did it very well. That just strengthens my point, Mike. The longer you stay the crease, the easier batting will become.
Well, that's a top edge. Is it going to be safe? It's Elgar who's there, and Elgar's taken the catch. Goodness me, Mayers has got to be disappointed with that. Elgar will be absolutely ecstatic. That is a bit of a gift.
Not a happy looking Phil Simmons, of course not. I just mentioned a few seconds ago, Mike, that he's aggressive, but as long as he stay patient and be selective, he didn't, and he gave it away. It wasn't the type of delivery that warranted that shot. Good catch in the end. Great shot. Beautiful. Kyron Powell. Half volley by Rabada. And that was a classical off drive.
Sure was. Outstanding shot. No real flourish, all control from Powell. Just relying on his timing, which is a gift he's always had. And he just smashes that through the offside, and it went really quickly.
Edged and gone through the gap. Diving for all he was worth at first slip. Takes him to 50. Half century for Kyron Powell.
His 7th Test match half century. It's been a while coming. His last series would have been 2018-2019 against India and Bangladesh.
In the air and out. Finding the lone fielder out at deep mid-wicket. Kyle Mayers just a few minutes ago with the fall shot. And Anrik Nokia, all he had to do was to wait on it.
Keshav Maharaj finally intervenes in this innings, and he does so with the prize wicket of Kyron Powell, who's batted really well at the start of the day's play and throughout this session until this point. An error in judgment, you would say? Maybe complacency, because he's settling nicely in this innings. But however you describe it, disappointment for the West Indies and jubilation for South Africa.
Is he taken? Yes, first ball. Gone immediately. This is a real collapse for the West Indies here just before lunch.
You can't keep him out of this game, Keshav Maharaj. Always an attacking type person on the pitch, whether with bat, with ball. Goes about his business in a fine manner. And he strikes again for South Africa.
They're all around him. And he's taken it. He's got the hat-trick. Just the second by a South African in Test match cricket. Keshav Maharaj, excellent catch by Mulder at leg slip. And he makes history. The West Indies collapsing in a heap, but they're all coming around Keshav Maharaj as he rejoices in this memorable moment. Dejection for Joshua De Silva.
Take a bow, Keshav Maharaj. What a moment for him in his career for South Africa. What a catch. Leon Mulder just diving away to his right, one-handed. Brilliance all around by South Africa. And they erupt in celebration. And this is what it means to him.
Look at him now, he's got a hat-trick. How extraordinary.
He's not going to stop smiling. Why would he? Doesn't happen too often in the Test match game. There have been a couple in the Caribbean over the last 15, 20 years. Matthew Hoggard against the West Indies in Barbados, 2004. Jermaine Lawson for the West Indies against Australia, 2003. We talked about Shah Langerfeld, 2005 in the One Day International. The West Indies innings left in ruins after they were looking so good with that third wicket partnership. Rabada with 3 wickets. But it's his success that will be talked about for a long, long time. Leads his team off the field.
Wow, what a moment. What a moment for this guy. Captain's there, greet him as he goes off the park. That is unbelievable. It's been an extraordinary feeling. West Indies opened the door with a rash shot, and South Africa were all over them like a rash. That's what happened after that. Magnificent catch by Mulder. It's just a blinder of a catch. And they are totally in control of this series now. Let's have a look at this historic moment. This is the hat-trick ball. Correction, all 3. So, there's the first one. Power's gone. Rash shot. Nokia the catcher. Holder, first ball. Peterson, fine grab at short leg. What about this catch? That is unbelievable. And the celebration started and no one could catch Maharaj.
And he was still trying to get away. Didn't succeed. All of his teammates wanted to be part of it. Karen Powell going well with Kyle Mayers in that stand. And from the moment that poor shot from Mayers to Rabada, it's triggered an avalanche.
Yep, and South African bowlers, they just know they keep plugging away, and Rabada got wickets right at the top. He could have got 4 actually. He got a wicket off a no ball. At the moment he's got 3 for 38. And then Maharaj has just ripped things open totally with that hat-trick. 3 wickets and 3 balls. That is totally devastating for an opposition and full of celebration for South Africa. Magnificent work from Maharaj and also Rabada, and the pressure from the entire South African side with, I think, what was really good aggression first up today. Look at the match summary. South Africa in the first innings just shy of that 300 mark that they always strive for. De Kock also just shy of 3 figures. Mayer's 3 for 28. and the West Indies 149. So it's a long way adrift after both sides had batted once. Black with the top scorer, Mulder picking up 3 right at the end. And Van der Dussen's innings has got to be given a lot of credit. 75 not out, they're in trouble. It was a really good partnership of 70 with Rabada. He picked up 40 runs, so we've got to put that in the equation as well. Roach, I thought, was brilliant yesterday with 4 for 52. And the West Indies now, at one stage today, were doing really well. But now they are in dire straits at 109 for 6. Powell out for 51. And Maharaj has got 3 along with Rabada, but Maharaj has got 3 at the blink of an eye. The West Indies need, in fact, no, South Africa need probably 3 wickets, actually. We don't think Chase is going to bat. That's the general feeling because of his injury.
Like there. Maharaj has to play at that delivery. It's angling into him. You got to negotiate if it's going to turn, if it's going to bounce.
This time around he will get the boundary. It's a poor delivery that's gone down the leg side. It's not often he's made mistakes. Maharaj, 115 for 6.
It's over.
Well, from a point of view of where Keshav Maharaj finished his last over, went down the leg side and put away by Roach. Just missing the line and a little bit full as well. Back towards Rabada, and it's just gone down. It's never easy in the follow through, and certainly not for a big fast bowler. Now we're going to get a couple of runs added to the total as well. Into the over, 118 for 6. Just look at this, just popping up. It just tells you maybe it's just a little slower than expected. Beautiful by Rabada. Really good place when you're bowling to Roach. With this field as well. Searching for that outside edge. Superb. Too short, square leg. The South Africans think this is another one. Keshav Maharaj wants to go upstairs. The umpire says not out. They will go upstairs.
Next to the bat, there's a gap between bat and ball, a flat line on ultra edge, roll it all the way through. Yep, there is no bat involved, so Simon is not out caught. I'm just going to proceed to ball tracking to check the LBW. Stand by. 1 to 7. It's not out caught, Joe, just waiting on ball tracking. Here he comes. Ball tracking coming up. Pitching outside leg. Simon, I'm ready to go back on field to Joel. Joe, you can stay with your original not out decision. You are on screen now.
Big hit, good strike. Maharaj can bat. And he really launched into that one.
I was just mentioning that he looks much more comfortable, like the only comfortable West Indies batter at short bowling. Getting some width here and going hard, Maharaj.
In the air, but in the gap as well. Maharaj to 6 in the previous over and a boundary here.
Oh, nicely driven. Almost looks like he should be batting up the order, Maharaj.
Outer half of the bat. And that will earn him 4 more. All along the ground and safe.
Yeah, full-length delivery. And just finding that gap, Blackwood. He's not very pleased with that.
Edged and taken now. Good diving effort. Maybe a bit frustrated that he conceded that boundary, but he's ended the resistance of Jermaine Blackwood.
Just finding that good length. Edged, and again, South Africa's slipped wicket-keeping area comes into play.
Edge and through. A really good attempt in the slips. Mulder's been brilliant. He's grabbed a few good ones. Brings up the 150.
And you can see how hard all these guys are working for each other. That's been terrific to see. Good effort by Mulder, couldn't quite get there. And Geedy trying his heart out, trying to pick up a couple of scalps, a couple of extra scalps. They just need 2 more, that's all they need.
Drag across the line as well. I don't think the fielder out there quite picked it up at the mid-wicket boundary.
I'll get it.
So we get another boundary.
Quinton de Kock is having a ball out there. It was Ngidi who didn't pick it up. And he kept, after it was disappointed. There he is saying, I'll get it. I'll get it. It's Quinton behind the stumps.
Is that off the pad? Too sure if there was bat involved. He's been brilliant there, Mulder, in that position. He thinks that's come off the bat.
A couple of disappointed guys around the bat here. Might have been a bit of an inside nick onto the pad and in and out of that hand.
Down the ground, now cries of catch it. Ngidi running in, and this time he picks it up, and picks it up well. That's not an easy catch, and I'm pretty sure that Quinton de Kock will give him a pat on the back.
Staraka ball, that's what it was, the slower ball. In the air, providing a little bit of incentive to go down the ground. Teasing the batsman, he decided to go for it, right at the bottom of the bat, straight to Ngidi, who might have been unsighted a bit, and he just, I don't know, what did he do? He swallowed it, really, more than anything else. He just grasped it to his chest.
It's found a gap. It's going to go down to the boundary. With all the catches in place, there's going to be a lot of gaps in the outfield.
Certainly has been a good test match. Obviously, writing is on the wall. South Africa will win this game and take the series 2-0. Now, what is Gabriel going to do? He's going to try and block this out, or he's going to have a go? Not known for his batting. Oh, well. Certainly had a go at that one.
Well, I know he's struggled with his batting, but in many ways, I suppose he's at least answered you quickly. You asked the question, what's he going to do? And he answered you rather fast. He's going to have a go, I would imagine. Going across the line, cries of catch it, and that's it. South Africa wrap it up. Keshav Maharaj picks up a fifer. He deserves that. Absolutely superb from Keshav Maharaj. It's a fifer that includes a hat-trick. And South Africa finally taste success away from home in test matches. While Dean Elgar has also got his first test win as captain under his belt. And everybody contributed.
Certainly was a fine team effort on the part of South Africa. They clearly were the better team in this 2 test match series. and deservedly winners. West Indies, on the other hand, had their moments as well, but they, at the end of 2 test matches, their batting let them down in a big way. Couldn't get runs on the board, not enough runs to challenge the South Africans. The bowlers did well, but South Africa were clearly the better team.
2 big wins for the Proteas. First test match by an innings and 63 runs, and in this test match by 158 runs. And they lost the toss on both occasions. The Proteas have done a fabulous job. It's also the first test series win, of course, for Dean Elgar as captain, but first test series win away for head coach Mark Boucher. It's been some tough times for the Proteas. They knew they had to work really hard to be able to get victory here. Yes, the West Indies from a batting perspective were under par, but at the same time the Proteas had to work hard. Their bowling units were good, the batting was excellent, and it's an opportunity for the 2 teams now just to shake hands. They've played it in good spirits right throughout this test series. Yes, it hasn't been easy for the West Indies at a lot of times, and the South Africans have had a lot to celebrate, but also it's been played in very good spirits. It's been an enthralling test series. In particular this match, which has ebbed and flowed, really kept us gripped, been sitting on the edge of our seats. So much has happened, just about included everything in this test match. And South Africa should be very, very happy with their efforts. Finishing it off in the second session of day 4, after what was a very quick first test match, lasted just 2.5 days. Well, Simmons, he knows there's work to do before the next test series, which will be against Pakistan in a little while still. They've got some time to work on that test series, whereas the South African coaching staff should feel very happy with their efforts. Umpires also had a good test series. Not easy in these conditions with the ball doing so much. But the umpires had a very good test series. It's a big win for the Proteas. Came here to win. It obviously was part of the goals, as you would when you're touring. But they've managed to execute well. He would have had dreams of coming here to win the test series, win the Sir Vivian Richards Trophy, and he's done it. And he's done it in style with his team. Few youngsters, not as much experience as some other captains would have had under their belts and at their disposal, and yet he still managed to rally his team well and led the team very, very well. South Africa only needed to take 9 wickets as a result of the injury to Roston Chase, and this was the final wicket to fall. Jaden Seals crossed the line, and a good catch from Nortje. We have seen some top-class fielding. And it's the celebration from Maharaj of his 5-wicket haul, which included a hat-trick. Big win for South Africa, taking the series 2-0 and winning this game by 158 runs. There was some good contributions with the bat. We didn't have a test 100 in this match, but Quinton de Kock fell just 4 runs short of that and batted beautifully. Blackwood, within himself, made a very good 49 in their first innings. Rassie van der Dussen held the South African second innings together with a good 75 undefeated. And Kieran Powell, in the end, made a very good fighting 51 in the second innings, but it wasn't enough. So South Africa win by 158 runs. Let's now go down to Mike Haseman.
I'm in the Sandals player zone with a guy who right now I think is imitating a Cheshire cat. What about this series win for starters, Kesh? How big's that?
Yeah, I think it's really important for this team. We've started a new journey with Dean as our new captain, and it's a good stepping stone to put a peg in the market to obviously show the people where we want to go and where we want to be. So it's important that we are clinical in the series, and full credit to the full team for all the contributions throughout this 2-test series.
Right, we got that out the way. Now let's talk about the hat-trick. Talk us through that hat-trick, because I mean, that was just exceptional. Talk us through the first ball for starters.
Yeah, I just feel like, I think it was Powell batting. He was sort of looking to come after me and, put the ball in the right area, and it found Anna on the boundary. The second one to Jason, I just tried to bowl what I've been bowling throughout this, and unfortunately enough, it drifted a bit and caught the inside edge. And on the hat-trick ball, I had so many things going through my head as to where to bowl the ball. And yeah, I just bowled normally, and Joshua followed it down leg, and all full credit to Vian for a brilliant catch down leg.
What about the celebration? Where were you going?
I didn't know what to do there. I decided to do a slide, but I decided to stop dead in my tracks. But yeah, I think there was too much excitement in me to even think that far.
And you were swamped by Ngidi and Rabada. That must have been a little bit terrifying at the end there.
Yeah, but to be honest, the excitement and adrenaline took over, so I didn't focus too much on that.
And Mulder's catch, my goodness.
Yeah, I think he's got an amazing set of hands. I've seen throughout this test series the catches that he's taken off the seamers and for the spinners, and there was pure reaction. So full credit to Vesey on that.
It must be so nice for you to have just outstanding support from the captain.
Yeah, definitely. Dean has full faith in the spinners, which I'm a big fan of. And yeah, like I said, it's nice to have that support and backing as a bowler, and not just only as a spinner, but to give you that spring in your step.
So what do you reckon's happening in that change room right now?
Yeah, I think the boys are waiting for Dean to come back so that we can shower him with his a beverage of choice. But yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of reflection, a lot of positives to be taken out, and obviously a few things where we can reflect on and work on, because we obviously want to head in a certain direction, and as much as there's positive, there's always room for improvement.
And it seems to be quite a remarkable team atmosphere, unity in the team.
Yeah, I think
Squad, actually.
Yeah, I think everyone's playing for each other, and we're working really well with management. Everyone, there's a good buzz atmosphere in the change room, and I think there's a sense of calm that's back in the change room, which is really important.
I reckon you better go and join them.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
Thank you.
Superb work by Keshav Maharaj. What a day, what a test match for him. And it's after hard work that he's gotten to this stage. And it took some hard work for South Africa, of course, in that first innings, in particular from Dean Elgar, who was quite brilliant with that 77. And then Quinton de Kock fell just short of 100. It would have been a back-to-back centuries for Quinton de Kock after a wonderful 141 in that first test match. And they held the innings together and put enough on the board to put pressure on the West Indies.
The West Indian bowling card was very impressive. They cannot fault the bowlers. They really stuck to their guns. They really bowled well, put South Africa under a lot of pressure. 3 wickets for Kemar Roach. He has been the pick. Kyle Mayers had a wonderful test match as well. The batting let them down in a big way. Never came to the party. All hard work from the bowlers were in vain. 149 all out. You're always going to be up against it.
From that stage, it would have been very difficult for the West Indies to come back, and the South African bowlers were just superb. Vian Mulder picked up 3 for 1 in 4 overs, each one contributing, of course, but Vian Mulder really did stand out with that spell, which helped clean up that innings for 149. South Africa had a really good lead of 149, and they would have been grateful for that because they struggled in their second innings. Rassie van der Dussen held it together with his 75 undefeated and had a good partnership with Rabada, who made his highest test score of 40. That was really required for the Proteas, who struggled.
And again, the West Indian bowlers, led by Kemar Roach, 4 wickets, really put the skids on the South Africans. 3 wickets again to Kyle Mayers. What a wonderful game he had with the ball. And then the demise, the batting for the second time in this match, never came to the party. A patient and well-played 51 for Powell, 34 for Mayers, 25 to Blackwood, 27 at the end for Kemar Roach. They couldn't get to that total.
South African bowlers were brilliant today. They were really exceptional. Didn't give much to the West Indies, and Keshav Maharaj, of course, stands out with that fifer. But Rabada started the rot, picking up 3 for 44 in his 16 overs and bowling the West Indies out for 165.